President Trump is calling for extreme vetting of Muslim immigrants from certain countries.
Yeah, his latest executive orders are drawing some strong reaction tonight. So let's get more on this with KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan. He joins us with a closer look at this controversial new move by the new president.
Absolutely. We heard earlier about the high wind warnings. We're issuing a political controversy warning for tonight from Washington, D.C. to California. The ink was hardly dry on President Trump's signature on his latest executive order when the debate was already heating up over his tough new restrictions on Muslim refugees. In signing more executive orders Friday, President Donald Trump finished the week the way he started it, lighting the fuse on more controversy, limiting the flow of all refugees into America, and taking special aim at Syrian refugees and all travelers from 7 Muslim nations, subjecting them to so-called extreme vetting.
I'm establishing new vetting measures to keep radical Islamic terrorists out of the United States of America. We don't want them here.
The Trump order would put a temporary hold on all refugees for 120 days. It would halt all entries from 7 Muslim countries with a history of terrorism for 90 days. And it would halt all Syrian refugees indefinitely. But Christian refugees from these countries would be given top priority for entry, as Mr. Trump explained on the Christian Broadcasting Network.
Do you see them as kind of a priority here?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, they've been horribly treated. Do you know, if you were a Christian in Syria, it was impossible, at least very, very tough to get into the United States. If you were a Muslim, you could come in. But if you were a Christian, it was almost impossible. So we are going to help them.
12,500 Syrian refugees were admitted into the U.S. last year. According to the State Department, almost all of them were Muslim. Only about 1% were Christian. The overwhelming majority of all the Syrian refugees admitted into America were women and children, according to the Washington Post. And the existing vetting process is so intense that it typically takes 9 months to 2 years to complete. Muslim leaders charge President Trump's new rules are scapegoating innocent Muslims, comparing it to the internments of Americans during World War II.
We see this simply as the same treatment that happened against Japanese Americans is happening to American Muslims today. That we are now being treated as suspects, that our patriotism will be challenged.
Congressman Adam Schiff says the Trump plan boils down to a religious test for refugees trying to get into the country.
It says that from these certain Muslim countries, we're going to suspend any refugees coming here, except we will allow refugees from those Muslim countries who are not Muslim. I think that's a big mistake and a terrible irony that we're doing this on Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Now, before the refugee order went out, President Trump welcomed British Prime Minister Theresa May to the White House. She urged him to keep the sanctions against Russia in place. He told reporters it's too early to even talk about any possible action on those sanctions. Lena.